Hey everybody, it's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Got some breaking news just coming across the financial news wires all about Norwegian cruise lines. There are some serious headlines coming across the SEC wires and elsewhere this morning. Norwegian Cruise Lines has been quoted as saying to the SEC that the company has substantial doubts about its ability to continue as a going concern. What does that mean? The company is attempting to raise cash like crazy right now. It is admitting to investors and its bankers and to the public at large that they don't believe at the moment that they have enough cash to survive another year. Of course, they're not bringing in any money from anywhere. Obviously, they're not sailing with any paying customers. They can't sail until at least August. And that's if everything worked out perfectly in the world at large. And as most of you know who follow me all the time, you know that I'm saying there is no way a cruise line, even Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or anyone else, will be cruising for possibly as long as 2022. Norwegian, in the last 24 hours, has made a substantial number of moves. They just concluded and closed an offering of $400 million in debt financing with a private equity fund called N. Catteron or Catterton. This company, I believe, is from France, and they have bought some senior debt from the company, and in exchange for this, they are getting a seat on the board of directors. The company has basically been saying to its to investors and bankers that they are in need of capital and will accept guidance as to how to move forward, not just take the money and run. Will L. Catterton put additional cash in? I don't know. How? I don't know. Would they be the group that actually takes the company over? I don't know. No one has made an offer to take the company over, but I can tell you additional news. The company has filed a prospectus this morning. In other words, it's a notice to sell shares from its treasury to raise cash. And they're trying to raise $350 million in a stock offering, which means that would be an interest-free investment into the company, obviously. They're offering the brokers who are lead managers of the deal an additional option for 50 million additional shares, which would be then for a total of $400 million before expenses. My guess is the expenses will run close to 8 to 10%. In other words, they raise $400 million, they end up with about $360 million net into the treasury of the company if the deal is successful. I don't know what the price per share is going to be because they have not indicated that at the moment. They've only indicated a willingness to sell and a desire to offer these shares or a number of shares to the public. Lead brokers right now on this deal: Goldman Sachs, Barclays Capital, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Mitsu Securities. These are all lead managers of this offering, and this bothers me in a way because in today's world, $400 million in cash is nothing. These companies are able to raise $500 million on a debt offering at the drop of a hat, and here a company wants to raise cash by way of a stock sale, and they've got to get 5 lead managers to help them do it. This is disturbing. It's telling me that the street has very little interest in the stock of the company. The shares of Norwegian have been dropping in price. They are presently trading in the low teens. The last price I have now, I'm showing Norwegian at $12 a share, down $2.40 so far in today's trading, today being May the 5th, 2020. The shares in the last week were as high as almost the $17 mark, and in the last month they've ranged from a low of 10 range up to 17, and of course for the last 3 and 6 months we had a stock of Norwegian trading in the $55 range back in February. This being May, we're talking only 2.5 months that the stock has completely plummeted in price, and the company's prospects have completely turned around. Additional news this morning, again, more financial news. The company is also in negotiations to raise $650 million in what are known as exchangeable senior notes that would be due in 2024. This would be IOUs against assets like ships. There's another offering they're dealing with. It's a $600 million senior secured note offering, again due in 2024. If they were successful in these two offerings of these senior notes and their stock offering, that would bring in $1.6 billion of cash plus the $400 million they raised this morning. That's $2 billion. That's a tall order. I don't know if they're going to be successful, and I do not know what it's going to cost them. I have heard that the interest rates being paid by this company just for the $400 million they got from the private equity firm is around 7 to 7.5%. That's substantially lower than what Carnival had to pay to raise their $4 billion in cash about a month ago when they did a bond offering on the spot. But the stock offering is the one I'm wondering about. I'm wondering if they're even going to get $10 a share for these shares. Will they have to take less? Remember, Carnival accepted $8 a share for stock that they sold, and their shares are now trading in around the $12, $13, $14 mark. It could be that Norwegian issues stock as low as $5 a share. If they did that, that would be a huge block of shares, 80 million shares going out into the street when there's only 213 million out already. That would then put the company at almost 300 million shares outstanding overnight. I don't know how this is going to play out. For those who own shares in the company, you have to be aware of the fact that they are saying to the SEC and their investors, and this is SEC rules, they are admitting to the SEC and their shareholders that they have substantial concerns about being a going concern as a corporation. And what it means is the possibility that if they cannot raise the cash they are seeking, they would have to declare bankruptcy and go into reorganization. Now, most banks that have loans out against the ships are protected for their investment with the ships themselves, but you need someone to operate the ships and to turn those ships into money generators. Now, as we all know right now, there is no cruise line that can generate cash from any of their ships because in the U.S., the CDC won't allow anyone on a cruise ship at this point, and there are no ports around the world that are welcoming cruise ships with open arms at this point in time. So it's a pretty rough scenario. But if these lead brokers can put the capital together for Norwegian that the company is seeking, that would then buy them enough time for another year or so. My question has been lately, is that still enough time? Can this company buy enough time to survive until 2021, say a year from now? And will they be back and running a third of their fleet a year from now? Or will they still be in lockdown like everyone else, waiting for the release date? Because unless we have a vaccine for the virus, there may not be any cruise ships sailing anywhere. And of course, the question then is, how many people who have deposits with the company will then request their deposits back? That will drain the treasury. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. The sooner they wrap up this offering, the better, if they can do it, to show all travelers out there that they're going to be around and to show the investment community that they have the ability to raise the capital. But at the moment, they are saying what they are supposed to say. They are divulging what they're supposed to divulge. And they are talking about risk factors that 3 months ago were unthinkable to the market. The latest share value now, $11.72, down $2.72 today. The stock is off 20+% in value this morning. The market has only been open in not even an hour this morning. And so far, the street is showing concern that they may or may not be successful in this offering. So there's the latest from TWB. I'll try to stay on top of this story as it continues on over the next few days, and we'll see what happens. Of course, what could happen to the company is they might be a takeover target by someone else, or they might merge with someone else, or they go under into an reorganized or an organized debt bankruptcy filing and then get picked up by others. They could sell off Region 7 Seas or Oceania, the two other lines they have, and only keep the mother line, which is Norwegian. I don't know how this will play out. There's a million possibilities, and I'm certain that management at Norwegian are working the phones, working the emails, working the texts to try to find a way to appease the investment community and keep it going. So there's the latest on Norwegian. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for subscribing to my channel, giving my video updates thumbs ups, your comments I appreciate very much. Thank you for joining me on my Facebook group page and on Instagram. Okay, guys, we'll talk to you a little later. Bye for now.